We're getting crazy moves from Bitcoin. We're at 56,892 and we've actually been even higher. Now, these moves are not normal for this early in the cycle. And what we're starting to see is that this is not a normal cycle. You can say that this is a kind of super cycle that is actually at play. And if you want to go one level deeper, what you'll see is that not only is it a super cycle, but it's what they call a left translated cycle, which means that everything is going to happen sooner than we expected. Now, with this kind of cycle, you got to be very, very, very careful because things are going to happen faster, and it means that you have to make very different decisions. So today I'm going to show you all the data that shows why we're in this left translated cycle. I'm going to show you all the rules to play this left translated cycles. I'm also going to show you which altcoins you should be holding and which ones you should leave completely the hell alone in the super cycle. We don't have time. And when I say we don't have time, I don't mean we don't have time today. I mean, we don't have time in the cycle. So let's get this show on the road because we really don't have time to waste. We really don't have time to waste, not with long intros, and we don't have any time to waste in the cycle, because if you thought things were gonna get exciting quickly, you got to think it again. It's going to get more exciting than you think, and it's going to be way quicker than you think. And I'm actually going to show you data that actually confirms that we are in this left translated cycle, which has started way earlier than we expected. So it's going to be a massive show. But before we get into the massive show, today is a very big day for me. And if it's a very big day for me, it's got to be a very big day for a lot of you guys that have been following us for the last 2 years or 3 years. The reason why today is such a big day for me, and it's a massive day, I can't even tell you how I feel today, but it's the first time that my portfolio has started to look anything like it was pre the lunar collapse. Now, I don't know if you guys were there, I don't know if you guys remember, but I got completely wrecked when lunar collapsed. It was the blackest period of my life. And the reason why it was the blackest period of my life is because I fucked up. And the reason why I messed up is because I had more than 50% of my portfolio in one token, which was Luna. And when Luna collapsed, it was like one of the worst days of my life. I remember I made this video in the period where Luna collapsed. I don't know if you remember this video.
People got absolutely wrecked. You know that I took a very big loss in my portfolio. I'm not out, I'm here and I'm fighting and I'm strong and I'm going to rebuild, and I've still got a decent portfolio. But it was by far the biggest part of my portfolio. You guys know this. You guys know that I shared that was how my portfolio started. And that is how my portfolio looked at one point.
So that is how my portfolio looked. I got completely wrecked. I vowed at the end of this video that I would rebuild. And as I rebuilt, I would rebuild with my entire community. Here we are today. In the beginning of the bull market, not even at the end of the bull market, and our portfolios, well, hopefully your portfolios are starting to look something like the portfolios that we had before the bull market. I don't know how you guys feel, but today for me, it's a massive day for me. It's a massive day for me. I never thought that I would recover from this, and it's only because of you guys. It's only because of the best community in the world. You guys forced me to make videos every single day. You guys forced me to rebuild my portfolio so that I could show you that I was doing it, and we did it. Today, we are at the beginning. We're not even in the aggressive stage of the bull market, and my portfolio is back to where it was pre the lunar collapse. So I don't know how you feel. Let me know in the comments if you were around. Let me know in the comments if you were following us in those days. We've all made amazing gains. I want to show you, speaking of amazing gains, because I think that this is a very big thing. Look at Carl's gains. Just look at the gains that 𝗕𝗅𝗢𝗢 is posting. Just look at this. Just look at some of these numbers. Unbelievable. These are all public trades that he's taken in his whale room, which is his product, his Discord. Just look at the trades that Carl has taken and the returns that he's done. This guy has nailed it. He has nailed it better than probably anyone that I know in this bull market. Now, as I said to you guys yesterday, you have 22 hours left to sign up to Carl's trading school. Literally, time is out. You have 22 hours left if you want to sign up to Carl's trading school. If you do want to sign up to his trading school, guys, you got 22 hours to finish this. Literally, you have 22 hours to finish to get this done. Go and sign up. It's free. It should cost $3,000. It's not going to cost you. It's not going to cost you $3,000. It's absolutely free. You just need to use the link that is here on the show, over here, right here, over here. Click that link. It'll send you to the sign up page. Just sign up quickly. Anyway, let's get on with the show because there's a lot to talk about today. We've got to talk about this left translated cycle. Yeah, I see a lot of you are congratulating me. I can't tell you how this feels. Like, I just can't tell you. I thought that I was wrecked. I thought that I was completely wiped out. I thought that I was out. And it's only because of you guys, the community. You forced me to be diligent and you gave me a sense of responsibility, and we rebuilt. And today, in the beginning of the cycle, we are back to where we were before. At least we should be very, very close to where we were before. Anyway, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, join us. It's proven to be an amazing, amazing place to be. If you are subscribed, just smash the like button, obliterate the like button. As I said, today is a big day for me. Today is a big day for me. Smash the like button. Let's get the show on the road. Kids, let's go. So, we have got this crazy move up in Bitcoin. We need to understand what's causing this move up in Bitcoin. When you start understanding what's causing the move up in Bitcoin, you will quite easily see what the next move is for Bitcoin. These moves are not typical so early in the bull market. To get moves at such a high level so quickly is completely unheard of in the bull market, specifically for this asset. But I'm going to show you exactly why it's happening. But first, let's just understand where we are when it comes to the charts. There's literally two more levels. There's this level over here, which is the 59,000 level. And then there's all-time high. Then there's 64, and then there's all-time high. It's basically the road to between where we are now and the all-time high is basically like a hot knife in butter. It can happen in the next 10 days. It can happen very, 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 very quickly. Much, much, much quicker than you think. It can happen. And it could happen. I'm going to show you the data that it actually may happen, not even can happen. It may happen much quicker than you actually called it. So, but what's causing? Because you have to understand what is the cause for this thing. So the first cause of this thing is one of the biggest inflows for the ETFs. And I'm going to show you why we got a huge ETF inflows. The fact that we got ETF inflows is not what it's about. I'm going to show you why the ETF inflows actually came in. But we got $515 million. It's the second biggest day in terms of volume and the second biggest day in terms of ETF inflows. That's the first reason why we got what we got to. The second reason why Bitcoin started to run is because, I've said to you guys before, if you're going to be short in a bull market, you're going to get yourselves wrecked. You're going to feel the squeeze so hard on your you-know-what. You're going to feel that squeeze. And that's exactly what the shorts are feeling. All $400 million of these shorts got absolutely, absolutely destroyed. So, number one, huge ETF inflows. Number two, we've got a short squeeze, which is destroying the bears, the 𝗕𝗘𝗅𝗓, okay? Someone says, laugh my ass off, tough day to be a 𝗕𝗘𝗅𝗓. 9% of the short of the operating interest is completely wiped out in 8 hours or so, as the bears get absolutely destroyed. And you can see that these guys are going for Bitcoin only at the moment. You can see that the Bitcoin dominance back up at 53.69. It's the Bitcoin part of the cycles. The institutions are coming in. The institutions are driving this. And this brings me to the third reason. The first one, as I said, is the ETF inflows. The second one is a short squeeze. The third one is insane FOMO, but not retail FOMO, institutional FOMO. If you think about this, just read this. It's such a good tweet. It says, upon reflection, it's quite clear to me that we've moved into some acceleration phase where marginal buyers have lost their price sensitivities, resulting in prices climbing up without pause. If you're sideline capital, and we told you yesterday, get in the market. Do not be sideline capital. But if you are sideline capital, this is where you're at. Either you submit now and you become a price insensitive buyer and you get in the game, or you cope and you hope for a crash. Okay, neither of these options are particularly attractive, which is why I expect myself to begin underperforming the late money entering the space right now. I don't particularly ascribe to anchors from past all-time highs or have any expectations of where the top of the cycle will be, but there are multiple notable points. I emphasize again that this leg is the most violent leg, meme coins pumping 50% a day, where money is made. But it is also the last for any particular cycle. So what he's saying here is that the cycle is moving very, very, very quickly. And a lot of people are starting to get FOMO. And they're FOMOing into anything they can make money on because they know that the cycle is going to be way, way, way quicker than we ever expected. If you see the FOMO that's starting to come in, the stable coins are starting to accelerate. There's now $140 billion worth of stable coins. A couple of weeks ago, there was 136. At the bottom of the bear market, there were 124 million. $16 billion have flowed into new stablecoins into the market. And the reality is that all of this is being caused by institutions. None of this is being caused by retail. Retail's not here yet. Miles broke it down. He said, look, if you look at the YouTube views, retail's not here yet. You look at the Bitcoin searches, although I don't like to really look at the Bitcoin searches. And the reason why I don't like to look at the Bitcoin searches is because the searches happened in the previous bull market. Most people already know what Bitcoin is. They're not going to be searching Bitcoin because most people searched it in the previous market. So for me, this is not a good metric. The next thing is the crypto app ratings on the App Store. Now, I did get some information today. I just want to see if I've got that information, that Coinbase has actually moved to the 300th biggest app on the App Store. So we are starting to move up, but retail's not here yet. Retail's not here yet. Also, a lot of people, I don't know how you guys are feeling, but I'm not getting as many friends asking me for crypto tips. Like, I mean, 𝗬𝗓𝗪 says he only had one friend who's been texting him about crypto. He wanted to buy Injective at 16 in November. Since then, I have yet to hear from anybody else. As you see, Coinbase moved from app number 300 to app number, from 388 to 300. If someone says, it's not surprising, but still wild that normies literally think Bitcoin is still in the middle of a crash. So we're here, we're still early. You are still early, but you're at the last stage of early. What we're seeing now is we're seeing institutional FOMO. Crazy institutional FOMO. You can see that they are starting to realize that if you hold Bitcoin as part of your portfolio, they say a portfolio holding 98% cash and 2% Bitcoin beat the S&P 500 over the last 4 years. Can you imagine? And this is when there's like a huge bull market. 98% cash and 2% Bitcoin beat the S&P. That is what these guys are starting to see. And they're starting to get real FOMO. And you know what the best part is? These guys are long only for now. For now. They will go short. But for now, these guys are investing in Bitcoin. They're not coming in like us to trade in and trade out and trade in and trade out. These guys are long only. They're coming in here to put this in their portfolios for 2% of their portfolios. What they're starting to see is that Bitcoin is better than gold. And you can see that what's starting to happen is the flows are quite clearly moving out of Bitcoin, out of gold into Bitcoin. So this is the gold ETF and this is the Bitcoin ETF. And what you can see is that these guys are starting to get this huge institutional FOMO and they're aping into Bitcoin and it's causing the Bitcoin narrative to go up. And it's not only Bitcoin that they're aping into. It's anything to do with crypto. Just look at this. MicroStrategy is up to $859. I don't know if you remember that I told you at $420, I switched my GBTC into MicroStrategy. I made 100% by making that switch. And I begged you guys to make that same switch with me. I told you guys in the beginning, in the bottom of the cycle, you want to switch to be more aggressive. You want to switch out of your Bitcoin into MicroStrategy. That was at $420. It was somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. No, wait, it was here. It was somewhere around here. $470, whatever it is. And now I have doubled my Bitcoin holdings. Doubled my Bitcoin holdings because I took that trade. They're also aping into Coinbase. Just look at this. Coinbase is up at $205. It's been at a high of $210. These institutions have gone crazy. They've gone crazy. All they want is to get their hands onto Bitcoin. They cannot get enough Bitcoin. That is the reality of what we're seeing. That is where we are in the cycle. It's crazy. We are in a crazy cycle. These kind of moves, these kind of aggressive moves, usually you see, let me just get the chart for us here. Usually you see these kind of moves after the halving. Here we go. So usually you see these moves after the halving. We're seeing these moves over here. And what that means is that we're in a new kind of cycle. We're in a cycle where everything starts to move backwards. Everything happens way sooner than it's expected. What does that mean for you? It means that you got a lot less time. Generally, I thought we had, 500 days after the halving to call it a day. But we don't. We have way less than 500 days. We probably have 300 days after the halving. The halving is 60 days away from today. You probably have a year between now and the end of your last opportunity to make life-changing money. We thought you had a year and a half. We thought you had 500 days or 600 days. You don't. You've got a year exactly to make life-changing money. What you do in the next year is up to you. But if you're going to waste your time in the next year, you're going to kick yourself for the rest of your life that you didn't play this cycle correctly. There's no more time to waste, guys. There's no more time to waste. Yesterday, I would have said, okay, look, there's still 500 days. Not yesterday, before the weekend. I was still convinced we had 500 days. Problem is, you now have 300 days. You have 300 days, a year, you have 365 days to make life-changing money. What the decisions that you make in the next 365 days, the investment decisions that you make, the life decisions that you make, the amount of time that you spend on the market in the next 365 days can make you or break you for the rest of your life. If you don't do it properly, you're going to look back for the rest of your life and say, I had the best opportunity of my life. It was in my hands. And instead of actually making money, what did I do? I spent it on the golf course. Instead of actually making money, what did I do? I spent it, I don't know, partying. Not now, guys, not now, not now. There's 365 days. Just focus. Focus for the next 365 days. Be disciplined for the next 365 days. Put everything on hold for the next 365 days. In 365 days, reap the rewards of it. And if this is the last super cycle, like I think that it is, if this is the last super cycle, you will thank me in 365 days. Just like a lot of you should be thanking me after this much after the lunar crash. I mean, this video was made, can't be a year ago. Let's see exactly. May 13th, 2022. We're a year and a half later, almost 2 years later. Here we are. Our portfolios have recovered to where we're at. Trust me on this. We are in this earlier cycle. Someone says a normal BTC cycle would have pulled back by now and consolidated another 6 months well under all-time highs. We're just about approaching escape velocity. We're talking about an all-time high in the next, maybe even 2 weeks. Someone says everything is going higher. Retail's not here. ETH is still fading. The halving is 1.5 months away. Interest rates have not moved. BlackRock doesn't take burger profits. Welcome to super cycle. That's where we're at. It is a super cycle. But the problem is it's not only a normal super cycle. It is what they call a left translated cycle. And the left translated cycle means that everything is happening sooner than we expect. He says a left translated cycle, previous halvings aligned with ETF approval instead of the upcoming halving. So what he's saying is that the price movement now of the ETF kind of replaced the halving for when the super cycle started. So it's almost like you think to yourself, the ETF is the halving, and now work your way back. And the ETF was approved on the 10th of January, and the halving is sometime in April. The whole cycle has moved back 4 months. That is what this left translated cycle looks like. Someone says, Neste says, now we have confirmation that the ETF catalyst is strong enough to break from our standard cycle phases. We could be entering the up and upthrust into all-time highs before the halving. The ETF replaced the halving. That is what's going on here. The ETF now replaced the halving. And we are, like it or not, believe it or not, we are now in this part of the cycle. And as I said to you before, in this part of the cycle, unfortunately, there's no time to waste. In the old part of the cycle, lots of time to waste. In this part of the cycle, no time to waste. Now we move into phase 2 of the market. What is phase 2 of this market? Phase 1, we cleaned up the mess from the last bull run. We got the Bitcoin ETF. Sold, sorted its shit out, and started to flourish. We got a whole lot of major airdrops. Now we move into the next part of it, where we start not giving shit about the regulators. We start speculating on reduced interest rates. We get ETF speculations. We get more inflows into Bitcoin. We get the 2 or 3%. We get more innovations on Bitcoin. We get a new type of leverage, which is the restaking. And remember, we've got to watch out for this leverage. We get bigger airdrops, eigenlayer, wormhole, layer 0. This is going to be huge, guys. This is going to be huge. And I wish I could tell you that we had time, and I wish we had more time to prepare. But the truth is we've been preparing for this for a long, long, long time. And now we need to just make sure that we execute according to our plan. And now the plane's in the air. Now we just got to look at the instruments, and we've got to make decisions based on what the instruments are fading to us. This is not the ground briefing where we can look at maps and stuff like that. Now we're in the air. Now we're flying. Now there's no more time to waste. We are now in this huge, fast, vicious, quick bull market. And you know when the real fun begins? The real fun begins really, really, really soon. As Chris Boniski says, he says, after the all-time high is the expansion. Everything is before a rerun. So what he's saying is, the real fun only happens when you get into price discovery. And that kind of aligns with what James van Straaten's saying. He's saying, when Bitcoin hits 100 grand, it becomes a $2 trillion asset. The FOMO and money leaving the gold ETFs and deposits leaving banks could be high enough to start a systemic credit event. Okay, we're starting to really make waves in traditional finance. And the real fun only starts, like in every market, you get into price discovery when you break the previous all-time high. And that is what this bull market is actually about. So let me know if you feel like you're prepared. And if you're not prepared, in the next part of the show, I'm going to prepare you. I'm going to prepare you for what you need to do, because this is not the time when you can make mistakes. 50% of what you're going to do now is make smart decisions. And the other 50% is just don't fuck this up. Just don't make stupid mistakes. That's all it is. That is all it is. That is how you play a super cycle, a left translated super cycle. So let's look at some of the factors that we need to consider here. Let's look at some of the factors that we need to consider here. Number one of the factors we need to consider here is the leverage. I don't know how else to say this to you guys, but some funding rates are at 100% now. Funding rates are at 100% now. Crazy. What is going on now is crazy. Look at these funding rates. It is absolutely, absolutely ridiculous. These funding rates are like, I mean, come on. Let's look at the 1-year funding rates. I mean, on DYDX, you're paying 124% to long Bitcoin. 124%. On CoinEx, you're paying 122% to long ETH. These funding rates are absolutely ridiculous. You got to be careful of these funding rates. The leverage. I mean, I don't know. This leverage is, look at this leverage. This leverage is at 24 billion. It was at 15 billion a week ago, and then it corrected, and now we're back at 24 billion. We've got to be very, 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 very careful of the funding. The RSIs are also crazy, crazy, crazy heated. But, as I said to you before, generally I would say this would cause a massive correction. And I still think that we may get a leverage flush out, because what's going on now is euphoric. People are euphoric. And I'll show you in a second how euphoric people actually are. This is a crazy, crazy, crazy time in the market. But we also need to keep perspective. Because as James Van Traten says, he says, open interest is actually at all-time highs, but not when you compare it to market cap. So remember that because more tokens have been issued in the market cap is actually bigger. And when you take the open interest as a percentage of total market cap, we're actually not at heated levels. So on an absolute basis, the all-time high is higher, but the asset class is actually much bigger. So you've got to look at it and say, cool, if the asset class is bigger than then the leverage can be slightly higher. So we're heated, but we're not at the point where we've got to be panicking about it. Also, the Bitcoin MVRV Z score is scoring +2 for the first time in this bull market. That's cool, but look at how high we still have to go. We still have to go to around 10 or maybe 7 before the peak of the bull market. Okay, so that is where we're at. On top of the leverage is a couple of other things that we need to look at. The first thing is, it is starting to be frothy out there. And the sign for me that I'm always worried about, this is the thing that always worries me. When I look at banter bubbles, what are the coins that are sticking out to you now? I mean, just look at what we're seeing here. Okay, obviously Nosana, which I said to you is our favorite deep in play. This thing doesn't stop. And it's not going to stop. It's going to carry on going. Ribbon, which is Evo, which I've told you guys many times is our partner exchange, and you need to be looking at it, is now up 68 cents. Unbelievable. It was at 74 cents. But what I want you to focus on is these. Pepe up 36.35% on speculation of a Coinbase listing. Bonk is up 17.5%. WIF is up 40.7%, and Floki is up 21.3%. Okay. There are huge signs of fluff. And I always say that these are the signs of fluff. Too much flexing on Twitter. Meme coins always pump last in the cycle. Why does a meme coin pump last in the cycle? Because what happens is people say things like, okay, we've been in and out of all the other narratives. Where else can we make money? We've squeezed the juice out of AI. We squeezed the juice out of decentralized exchanges. We squeezed the juice out of DeepIn. Where else are we going to go to make money? Okay, let's go to meme coins, because there's nothing there, but I mean, those are going to pump. Meme coins usually pump last. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we got some kind of leverage flush out very, 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 very soon. I'm always skeptical of the meme coins. When the meme coins start to pump, I'm worried. When people start posting posts like this, even if you're all in, you haven't taken a loan out on your house to go more in, even if you've sold your wife and kids to go on eBay to go all in, you're still underexposed. Super cycle retardio. When people start giving you advice like that or tweeting shit like that, you know that it's euphoric. When the meme coins when big research company guys are tweeting about meme coins, when Ryan Selkis is tweeting around price discovery on WIF, you know. This guy says, I still don't think you folks are understanding the amount of money that's going to flow into Bitcoin bull market, and no, the boomer ETF normies aren't immune to FOMO. Diminishing returns are dead. Super cycle. People are starting to be too confident about this. It's becoming too easy to make money. When this happens, I say be careful. Now look, a lot of you are saying, okay, you're just saying this because you never caught the meme coins. You're right. I didn't catch the meme coins. Did I know the meme coins were going to run? Absolutely. I mean, we know how the cycle plays out. It's no different from any other cycle. But I made a conscious decision that I'm not moving to the meme coins. And did I make that conscious decision that I'm not moving to meme coins? And this is one of the fundamental things that you have to remember in a super cycle. Stay in your lane. Don't chase the shiny objects. In the last bull market, I chased every single shiny object that there was. Avalanche gaming into Avalanche, DeFi into Solana, DeFi into Solana ecosystem. You know what the problem is? I followed the bees around all the time. I followed the bees from narrative to narrative to narrative. At the end of the market, I look back and I got completely wrecked. Why did I get completely wrecked? Because I was chasing shiny objects instead of sticking to my investment thesis and staying in my lane. And if I would have done that, I would have made way more money. Yes, you can make way more money. And I'm sure your friends are all talking about how they made 50% on Pepe today and how they were geniuses. I bet you they don't get out in time, and I bet you they don't find the next narrative in time. Rather, adopt the attitude or the investment thesis that I've adopted. And that investment thesis that I've adopted is a very simple one. Just stick to your narratives. Now, I'm not saying be as boring as TED Talks Macro. It says 90% of you will be better off holding Bitcoin, ETF, ETH, and SOL and waiting for things to really pop than by trading in and out. And I agree with him, by the way. I agree with him. Trading in and out and trying to chase narratives has never worked. I tried it in the last market. I did this so that you don't have to do it. And I can tell you that there's a much better approach. The much better approach is bet on the narratives and the tokens that you think are going to do amazingly well. And then be like Michael Burry in the Big Short and just hold on to your conviction and hope that you were right. I don't know if you saw this. I posted this on the weekend. First of all, I don't know if you know how tortoises do it, but I mean, so it got me thinking. This tortoise got me thinking. It got me thinking about a lot of things, but mainly it got me thinking about who wins in the bull market. Is it the tortoise who just goes step by step by step, sticking to the narrative, sticking to the thesis? Or is it the hare who jumps from shiny object to shiny object to shiny object to shiny object? Guys, every time you feel like going and jumping from shiny object to shiny object, think about the tortoise. Think about the tortoise. Be the tortoise. That is how you win the race. And I'll tell you, my biggest inspiration for being the tortoise, other than the fact that I messed up so badly in previous cycles, was Multicoin Capital. These guys were down and out after FTX collapsed and Solana collapsed. They were the biggest investors in Solana. They were the biggest investors in FTX, or one of the biggest investors in FTX. Their funds lost 91.4% of their value. What did they do? Did they start chasing shiny objects? No. I remember reading their newsletter because I was an investor in their fund. And I remember reading their newsletter, and in their newsletter they said, we stick to our conviction around Solana. We stick to our thesis around Solana. We don't believe that there's ever going to be a better blockchain around Solana. We believe that all layer ones are going to settle on are going to be like Solana, and that it's going to displace ETH. And despite everything that was going on around them, despite every single thing that was going on around them, and investors wanting to sue them, and their portfolio 91.4% down, they stuck to their thesis, and they continued to invest in their thesis. And what happened? Today, they cited as one of the top investment firms in crypto. Sticking to their thesis when it felt uncomfortable, is what worked for me and what worked for them. I'll show you how it worked for me. I was following the multi-coin story. I followed the multi-coin story all the time. And that is when I took this trade over here. I longed Solana at $13.57. I'm up 7,173%. I'm up 71x on my trade, just so you understand. I put down $13,000 and it's worth over $1 million now. I mean, you have to just understand how big this trade was. I put down $13,000 in margin. It's worth over $1 million right now. Why? I stuck to my thesis. I didn't chase shiny objects. I kept the fundamentals. I want to show you the type of bets that Multicoin Capital made when they were down and out, and every single fund and every single newspaper, magazine, commentator all said that they were crazy. What are the type of bets that they made? Well, the bets don't seem that crazy right now. Let me show you some of these bets. You may actually recognize some of these bets as maybe some of the best performers. Lido, Starkware, Thorchain, Pith, Layer Zero. These are just some of them. WorldCoin. I mean, I'm short WorldCoin. How is my short doing? Let's quickly just look at my short here. Okay, it's going to zero. You see, I told you. I'll be fine. I'll be fine on the short. And I'm only down 5 grand. I was down like 20 grand. Look at all these. Look at these calls that they made because they stuck to their thesis. 𝗕𝗘𝗟𝗢𝗙. Here's another one for you. Sommelier, Helium, HiveMapper, Render. This is what happens when you have a thesis and you stick to your thesis and you don't jump around from shiny object to shiny object and you don't follow the narratives that are jumping on Twitter. Jito, another one that's amazing. Oxygen, another one that's amazing. 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗙, which is going to be quite good. These are the bets that these guys took. The problem is you're going to be confronted with many narratives and many shiny objects. And one of your biggest things in this bull market is not to be distracted by shiny objects, but rather to stick to the thesis. You want to be distracted by shiny objects? No problem. You know how you get distracted? Put 10% of your portfolio into an account like I put into this account over here and trade it. This account was a $50,000 account. This is an account that I created to trade shiny objects. It's a $3 million account today. That's all you need to do. Just take small money of your portfolio, mess around with the shiny objects, and the rest of it, stick to the thesis and just know when to get out. It's simple as that. And you know what? You won't make all the money, but you'll make enough money. The idea is not to make a lot of money, not to make all the money. The idea is to leave money for other people. Otherwise, what's James going to eat and what's Josh going to eat and what's Dan going to eat? You've got to leave some for other people, but you need to know when to get out. You need to know when to get out. And it's not only getting out of your portfolios. I'll show you another mistake that a lot of you are making. I want to show you another mistake that a lot of you are making in this bull market. And I know you're making this mistake in this bull market. And now you can't make these mistakes anymore. You can't make these mistakes anymore. Here's the mistake. Does anyone know what the mistake is? Does anyone recognize this chart? Do you know what this chart is? It's the XRP chart. Okay? Just look at this XRP chart. 56 cents since January 2017. 56 cents. Basically, XRP holders are not participating in this bull market. Decided they're not. The XRP holders said, look, we're not participating in this bull market. And it's not only the XRP holders. I'll show you a couple of others that are, let me just reload this. Let me show you a couple of others. Litecoin. If you're holding Litecoin, if you are holding Litecoin, why are you still holding Litecoin? Can we talk? If you're holding XRP, can you tell me why you're still holding XRP? If you're holding Litecoin, since the same level it was in October 2018, why are you still holding Litecoin? Let me show you a few others. BSV. If you're holding BSV, what are you holding here? Please explain to me why are you holding these tokens? EOS. If you're still holding EOS, why are you holding these tokens? Remember, the market loves new shiny objects. The market loves new narratives. Okay? Someone says everything is going to pump, but you have more chance of making it where there are no bag holders waiting for years to dump on you. There's a lot of XRP bag holders who are waiting for $1 so that they can get back to where they bought and dump on you. But in new tokens, that doesn't exist because there's no bag holders waiting to dump on you. These are gems that are experiencing their full cycle. Just look at the difference here. Litecoin, 10%. The equivalent, which is another proof of work chain, 270%. Now, where would you rather be? Would you rather be in Litecoin because you got married to it, because you got an emotional connection to XRP, or you got an emotional connection to Litecoin? Or Would you rather be in Aletheum and make 270%? And that run is not done yet. Stop marrying your terrible bags. Stop being emotionally attached to shit bag tokens, which are old narrative tokens and old cycle tokens. Biggest mistake you can make. You're sitting there on a hope and a prayer, and you're waiting. And I know you, come on, I know you're doing this, guys. I saw a lot of your portfolios. It's a shit show. Your portfolios are a shit show. You got all these old tokens, some of you with Litecoin and guys, Cardano. Hands up the Cardano holders. No. Come on. Hands up. I know you're going to rip me off after the show, but let me show you the facts. Let's look at the facts. Let's not talk about what can be and what will be. Let's just talk about the price. You're at the same price that you were in May. You've nothing is going on here. Now choose. Do you want to be in that token, or do you want to be in EigenLayer, or in Neutron, or in 𝗕𝗘𝗬𝗕𝗬? 𝗕𝗘𝗬𝗕𝗬, one of our sponsors. Very, very, very good token. Very, very good technology. Soft node technology. They found a new way to transact Bitcoin without actually the Bitcoin fees, and they did this by creating a new layer of a new blockchain, where they take the Bitcoin, they put the Bitcoin into separate wallets, and then they just send the password for those wallets around. It's 𝗕𝗘𝗬𝗕𝗬, one of our sponsors. But would you rather be in that token, or would you rather be in some piece of shit from the previous cycle? Get out of the piece of shit from the previous cycle. Jesus. I know a lot of you are hugging these things. While the previous cycle pieces of shit are there, Ondo, Aletheum, Beam, Zeta, they're all going into price discovery. You guys are still holding on to your old tokens. What a joke. Anyway, enough ranting. Let's talk about altcoins. So, by the way, if you're loving the show, smash the like button. And we are going to give away the Apple Vision Pro today. I've got the list right here. We're going to give away the Apple Vision Pro today, another Apple Vision Pro. Let's talk about altcoins. Let's actually look at some of the altcoins that are moving today. Theta, congratulations to Sheldon. I don't know if you saw, but Sheldon actually went live last night while the market was running and made us all multi-millionaires, because I think you all took the Theta trade from Sheldon's thing. So congratulations. Stacks always run when Bitcoin runs. Dogecoin, I'm confused about Dogecoin. It's finally started running. I sold my Dogecoin, I got to be honest. I just thought there were better places to be. Akash running because we'll talk about why it's running in a second, but there's also a Coinbase listing that's coming. Let's go to the top 200. Let's go to the top 200. So you got Illuvium waking up. You got the meme coins waking up. You got Nasana waking up. You've got Ribbon waking up. You got Zeta going into price discovery. It's in price discovery. It's in price discovery already. What we know for sure in the cycle is that the next part of it is going to be the altcoin cycle. Now, generally this altcoin cycle is quite quick anyway. But if it's going to be quicker and more aggressive, then I don't know, just sit back and relax and just I don't even know how to process shit like this. It's beyond my capacity. My GPU capacity is not big enough for shit like that. So I need to maybe plug into Akash or I don't know, Nasana and get more GPUs. So Rect Capital says Bitcoin is enjoying a fantastic pre-halving rally. The altcoins are just waiting for their moment in the sun. Q1 is usually a altcoin rally, but now this is supposed to be expedited. So we're going through the express now. If we're going through the express, this could happen much quicker than you actually thought. Just be ready. I don't know when to be ready. This is a profound tweet by 𝗕𝗫𝗎𝗪. 𝗕𝗫𝗎𝗪. He says Bitcoin is now at the same price it was in November 19th, 2021. Total 3 was at $1 trillion market cap the last time Bitcoin was at this price. Total 3's market cap is only $573 billion at the same price. What does that mean? Well, we can see Bitcoin catching the bid as alts are lagging by nearly 50%. All interest is on Bitcoin at the moment. Alts are lagging massively. Total 3 will essentially double to get back to its previous levels. Accumulation is now before everything starts pumping. It's inevitable. The pump is inevitable. And it's inevitable that it's going to happen sooner than you expect. Anyway, we're going to talk about specific altcoins now. But before we do, remember, if you want to win a Bitcoin, you click here. You predict the price of Bitcoin. You must have a Crypto Banter exchange link to enter this. Predict the price of Bitcoin on the 15th of May. And if you don't have a Crypto Banter link, just sign up with any of these. You can sign up on Bybit, Bitget, OKX, Evo, CoinW, or BigX. Sign up on any one of these. and you can predict the price of Bitcoin 5 times between now and the 15th of May to win a full Bitcoin. We gave away a full Bitcoin in December. I want to do it again. I want to make you guys rich. Either I'm going to make you rich by showing you the light, or I'm going to make you rich by just giving you a Bitcoin, which by that time will be worth a lot of money. I think these people are being so conservative. I mean, what's 42,123? What's 62,000? Ants! These are ants. 100,000. Let the bidding start at 100,000. Let the bidding start. Also, I want to remind you, if you want to win an Apple Vision Pro, we're going to talk altcoins in 1 second. If you want to win an Apple Vision Pro, you go to our show today. You open an exchange account with any of these exchanges. Bybit, Bitget, Deribit, Bitflex, BingX. You open an exchange and put OKX there as well. Josh, put OKX there as well. We must have OKX as well. Cool. Let's talk about altcoins. Let's and remember, I'm gonna draw a winner today. I've got the list of thing. Run, take us to Valhalla. I'm taking you to Valhalla. A couple of altcoins that are sticking out for me that I think we need to look at. So number one that I want to talk about is one that has moved slightly today, but I don't think it's moved a lot. I have a very big position in this meme coin. It's not a meme coin. It's a real coin. Here it is. It's Rune. I think Rune's making all the right noises. I'm already up 1,000% in the trade. I think a lot of you are up. But they're talking about a Rune stablecoin. They're talking about a Tor stablecoin, and they've been testing this Tor stablecoin. And so I think that what we're going to get here is I think we're going to get a ThorChain stablecoin. And they are making all the right noises. So swap, savers, loan, stablecoin. They're starting to talk more publicly about the stablecoin. So I think that ThorChain is going to do it. And you can see that the total value locked is starting to go up and up and up. And with Rune, the total value locked is exactly a function of how the token will actually go up. And it does talk to this cross-chain narrative where you can now swap against 9 blockchains and ERC20 assets. So I think it's making the right noises. The other one that I want to remind you about is 𝗪𝗡. So 𝗪𝗡's done really well. We did tell you it was going to do well. Remember that today we're having a launch on 𝗪𝗡. There's a launch on 𝗪𝗡, $17.37. How is that for a fantastic call? I know a lot of you guys got the call on front runners. We made a decision to let 500 more people into front runners. So if you were on the waiting list, then if you were on the waiting list, you're going to get in. If you're not already on the waiting list, get on the waiting list because we could let more people in. But for now, we used to have 1,000 people. We've made it 1,500 people on front runners. And by the way, front runners is where we called 𝗪𝗡 first. They always get the show notes first. It's the Banter, very, very, very exclusive group. It's called Front Runners. Someone said pumping your bags again. That's exactly what I do. You know why? Because I tell you exactly what I'm investing in, and then I tell you why I invested in it. And if you want to follow me, that's great. You don't have to. I'll just tell you what I'm doing. Simple. And not only do I tell you, I actually show you. So it's all transparent. It's all right here, as you can see. Someone says, how do we get onto the list? You go here. You go to... See what it says, join front runners, 1,000 spots only. It's now 1,500 spots. All right, so 𝗪𝗡, remember, they're launching this parallel supercomputer. It's happening today. It's happening a couple of hours. I think it's happening 27th at 1 o'clock EST. Now it is EST. It is 12. It's happening in 1 hour. 1 hour. No. 3 hours. I don't know what the time is EST. Fuck. No idea what the EST time is. Then there's also a hackathon. There's also an 𝗪𝗡 hackathon happening in 2 weeks. So I think there's going to be some action here. Also remember that 𝗏𝗏 said they on 𝗪𝗡. 𝗏𝗏 also flying. 𝗏𝗏 community approved a $3.5 million incentive for providers to commit NVIDIA H100s, A100s, and A6000s to 𝗏𝗏 for a year. The team is evaluating 8 data center proposals and will share the results next week. So, these guys are making waves. These guys are right now at the forefront of this thing. But I think there's new ones coming on. I think GPU.net, which is coming on soon, is going to be good. I think also IO.net is coming soon. And I think that those ones are also going to be fantastic. Remember another thing. Another one that I want to talk to you guys about is, it's quite controversial. It's quite controversial, but I think worth talking about now. You'll probably laugh at me. You'll probably laugh when I say this. So you'll probably laugh. I've told you to buy this token before. I think it's probably a good time to be looking at it again. It's open exchange. It's 𝗬𝗎 and 𝗕𝗘𝗣𝗢𝗍's token. And this is controversial. But I don't know if you've seen their new platform, which is called OX.fun. This is a derivatives, a very degen derivatives play. And I think they've launched it. It's got $100 million market cap. So I don't know. I think that you can't discount this thing. And I think the token has been quite badly hit. So I don't know. You make your own decisions. All right, we've got 2 things. If you want the Banter bags, subscribe to Banter, subscribe to Banter Plus, and have an exchange account. I could give away the Banter bags any day. I mean, it really could happen any day. We got you guys, as we said, $1,000 in Peckland, $1,000 in Beeple. Beeple, as I said to you yesterday, very cool app, which allows you to send messages from wallet to wallet, which is like a huge breakthrough. Like, imagine you could send a guy's holding a penguin, you want to talk to him, you just send a message to his wallet. All right, should we pick a number here? Should we pick a number here between 1 and... What's our number today? Remember, you can still sign up for this. 7 days still. 1 and 531. So let's get a random number generator first of all. Because otherwise people say, you were cheating. You gave random number generator between 1 and 2,531. 2,000. Is that 2,531? 2,531. You need to add more people. You need to add BitGet. Well, tomorrow we'll do a giveaway just for BitGet. So sign up for BitGet today because we'll do a giveaway. 2,407. 2,407. If your account number on Bitflix, 161-544-949-874-982-912. Are you joking? So such long UID numbers. Okay, if you are that account number, I'll leave it on the screen for like 2 more seconds. Giveaways at cryptobanter.com. Let us know. Send us an email from giveaways at cryptobanter.com, and then you can be the winner of. You'll get your Vision Pros delivered to you. Listen, guys. First of all, I want to thank you again. Someone says Beeple's out tomorrow. Yeah, Beeple is out tomorrow on Mobi. It's being launched on Mobi. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Lots of questions here. Lots of bags of banter. You want banter bags? You know what you need to do. Guys, thank you once again. Thank you for helping me get my portfolio back to where it was before the lunar collapse. I'm eternally grateful to you guys for all of this. I woke up this morning quite emotional about it when I saw the numbers. Stay safe out there. Remember, it's a super cycle. Remember, you can get wrecked very easily. Remember, we could get some kind of correction when the leverage is high. Remember not to make bad decisions. Remember not to jump from narrative to narrative. And remember to trade well, my friends.